It has not been easy for my family, especially explaining to the kids on why their father is arrested. Honestly, more especially because, you know, in my mind, and I know in my husband's mind, he didn't think he was going to get this far. I think he was just making a comment on what has happened. He didn't think anything would be taken politically about this thing, but for some reason it has been taken politically. I don't know why, but anyway, it has not been easy, but we are coping. We have to be strong. We all have to be strong. I have to be strong. The children have to be strong themselves. You know, yeah.
And how do you think the kids are coping with the situation?
Well, there's a 9-year-old, I give him newspapers to read. They read the papers. Yeah, they are coping. It's not easy, you know, having to see their father in jail all the time. You know, they can't even touch him. They can't even tell him on what has happened at school. You know, it's not easy. But then...
Do you think they're aware of what's happening?
A bit. Yes, they ask questions, they read, they ask questions, but I can tell you, they now know who Chief Justice is. They know who Ramodibedi is. Yeah, they are trying. Yeah, they are trying.
And what do you explain to the kids when they ask questions?
I explain to them that their father is not a criminal. He is just a journalist who was writing what he has heard, what he has noticed happening in the judiciary system. But he's not a criminal. He's just an honest man who hates corruption. You know, he can't keep things to himself. He voiced them out. I don't know. Is that bad? I don't know, honestly. Yeah.
Do you think that he thought it was ever going to get this far?
He didn't think so. He really didn't think so. Like I'm saying, he had no political agenda about this. Honestly, he didn't think it would get this far.
The particular article he wrote?
Yeah. I think he was merely making a comment, honestly. Myself, I also can't understand what has really happened. Honestly, I just can't. I fail to understand how did it get this far.
And how are you coping yourself?
Some days I'm strong. I feel no, I can. You know, I'm used to this. I'm strong. I can do this. I can take care of the kids. I can do everything. And some days I'm not strong. I'm a very emotional person. One minute I'm happy, the next minute I see my children. You know, I think of their father. I think of what he would be saying to them, of what he would be, you know, just playing with the kids. He's a family man. He loves his children. I notice small things and I would think of their father and what he would be saying to them. So it's not easy, honestly. It's not. But we are okay, we are fine. We're getting stronger by the day. We're understanding things that we never thought we'd understand. You know, there are some questions that you'd ask me a year ago. I would have no answer. But now I have a lot of, you know, answers. But anyway, I don't want to get into that.
Bheki's often said that he doesn't consider himself an activist or overly political. Could you elaborate a bit more on that?
Yes. Bheki is not an activist. He is not into some particular organization. He is just a journalist. I would call him a critic. He criticizes things that happen in the country. As a result, he doesn't even have friends. Because whatever he says, he's just like, honestly, he criticizes things that happened in the country. He's not an activist, but I'm really wondering on how is this going to turn out, honestly. Because sometimes people can push you to do things that you never thought you'd do. Like I'm saying, honestly, I don't understand how this turned so politically. I don't understand.
With all this in mind, how do you see the future of Swaziland?
Oh my word, I'm worried about our children. Because this is their father. This is, I don't know. I'm worried about our children. If we can't have different views, what kind of people are we, honestly? Because we are different. We think differently. We have views. You know, just because I don't agree with how you think, am I supposed to be arrested just because you feel you are senior, you can do anything and get away with it? Then what are we teaching our children? That's what I'm worried about, honestly. Because people have different views. People see things differently. But at the end of the day, they are people. There's nothing you can do about that. I think we need to embrace one another's way of thinking, honestly. Because in doing that, there's something that you learn from the way the other person thinks. You know, not everything the other person thinks is wrong. You always learn something. If only we can just... I'm really worried about our children, honestly.
Has it been difficult for you personally with the increased media attention, and how have you dealt with that?
I've tried to stay away from the media. I don't... I've tried, because at the end of the day, I believe it's not about me. It's about my husband. Unfortunately, it affects me, it affects my family, it affects my children. But it's not about me. Yeah, it's not about me. That's why I'm trying to stay away from media. Unfortunately, my husband is a media person.
And what do you think your husband would say to media people in South Africa?
I think he would say, continue writing, continue talking about Swaziland. Because what has happened, honestly, Swaziland is a small country. Maybe, I think these people think that whatever you do in Swaziland, you're going to keep Swaziland in a book. The other countries are not going to know. Yet, it's getting different now. You know, Swazis are intelligent. They can't keep quiet. They talk. If they say something wrong, they talk. We've been led to believe that Swazis are, you know, people who, I don't know, respectful people. I don't know why we think someone who talks is being disrespectful. Because I think someone who's being disrespectful is someone who's just going to listen and not advise you on whatever that you're doing, if it is wrong, honestly. But anyway, I think he would say, continue writing, tell the world. I mean, we want Swaziland to be, we're talking about the 21st, you know, how are we going to get there? I don't know.
And do you think what's happening in Swaziland now with the arrest and jailing of a lawyer and a journalist and other activists, it also affects South Africa?
Well, it does, in one way or the other. South Africa has been... what is happening in Swaziland in one way or South Africa has been in this situation before. It's just that in South Africa it was blacks and whites. And now in Swaziland, I don't know how to talk politics. I don't know how to talk politics. I think let us not get to that. But anyway, it does affect South Africa as well.
On that final note, is there any other last words?
I just want to say, journalists should be united. I think what has happened to my husband has made me realize a lot of things. In a way, I feel like journalists are not as united as, it's my honest opinion, unfortunately, they are not as united as they are supposed to be. I think they should be united. My husband always asks, where is so and so? Where is so and so? These people, why? He feels, in a way, he feels like they are not there for him, they are not with him. He feels alone. Well, there are a few individuals, but he does feel alone.
Is he staying strong?
Yeah, he is staying strong. He is. He has to be strong. My husband is a strong man. But I really think journalists should be united. They should report everything that is happening.